All right, we've got the point, click, and move thing down now, so we know how to draw straight lines with the pen tool. It's pretty easy. But now in this movie, what we're going to focus on is how to start drawing curves with the pen tool. This is a little bit more complex, but it's not that difficult. Let's go up to the File menu, choose New, hit OK to create ourselves a brand new document. Grab ourselves the pen tool by pressing the letter P, and now we're ready to start drawing some curves. So first things first, let's just make an anchor point somewhere out on the artboard. I'll put mine right in the middle. Just click to add the anchor point. So as of right now, we are in the middle of making a path using the pen tool. Right now, it's just a straight path because we haven't actually made our second move. We pointed, we clicked, and we moved, but now we've got to make that second click. When we make that second click, if we want to draw a curved line, we cannot just click and move away. We have to click and drag in order to start making a curved line. And with the pen tool, you have to sort of reverse your way of thinking. When you click with the pen tool, you have to drag in the opposite direction you want the curve to go. So if I want the curve to go down to the right, I drag up to the left. Then I'll come back here and we'll draw another line. So I'll click. See how the pen tool automatically sort of has that curvature associated with it anyway? So we're good there. If you want to constrain the angle, just hold down the Shift key. That's going to help you do something kind of like that. Then we'll go over here and we'll just make another point. And again, I drag in the opposite direction I want the curve to go. And then we finish off with something kind of like that. Now I realize that's sort of an abstract version of a heart, but you get the idea of what we're going for there. When we start drawing complete shapes a little bit later on, I'm going to show you some techniques on how to clean that up a little bit. All right, let's delete this heart shape off of our artboard here, and let's focus on drawing some curved lines. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to click and hold and drag down on this. Hold down the Shift key in order to make sure it's straight. So we're just going to click and drag down with this. And then I'm going to make sure the Smart Guide lines up, and I'm going to click, hold down the Shift key, and drag up. Why am I dragging up? Because I want this curve to match. If I drag in the opposite direction of where I want the curve to go, that means that I'm going to be making it go up. So if I drag the same direction I dragged before, it makes the other side of the curve go up. I get an S curve. If I want the bottom of a circle, though, I want something kind of like this. We'll do that. So that's a basic curve. Anytime you want to stop drawing with the pen tool, hold down the Command key on the Mac, the Control key on the PC, and just click anywhere on the screen. Now let's work on one of those S curves. Let's click, drag, and then click and drag in the opposite direction of the previous. So there's a curve there. Click away. Let's do another one here. Click, drag. Go right here. Click, drag down. Now let's undo that. Command or Control Z. Let's see if we can follow the contour of the previous one. So let's click and drag down. And then this time, click and drag down on this side. There we go. Just follow the curvature of the previous line. There we go. Now let's zoom in here. Kind of see what we're doing. Now let's try that one more time. Grab the pen tool, line it up, click, drag down. Same thing over here. Click, drag down. This is how I practiced learning the pen tool. I started lining up curves and just practiced matching them. It takes a while, but you can get there. You just have to realize how far to drag these little handles, how to manipulate them. And then after the fact, if you want, you can use the direct selection tool and you can come in here and you can actually refine them even more. So I could make this curve bend a little bit more. I could make this one up here. Let's select this. I can make this one bend a little less maybe. And I could really start to fine tune these things to make them look as though they really do match up. That's the key to drawing curves. You want to get about 95% of the way there with the initial pen tool movements. And then the other 5% you can usually get by refining it with something like the direct selection tool. You can also use the pen tool itself, as we've seen, to come in and just manipulate certain points. So I can hold down the Option or Alt key and I can get a bend there and I can get a bend there. I can come in here and kind of bend this up and then bend this down. I can make these things start to follow the same type of path. Now you'll notice there's a little gap right here of white. That's just because one of those is filled with white and these are open paths. So if I give it no fill down there, you will see that white go away. So curved line segments are just going to be a matter of clicking and dragging those control handles. And most of the time you're going to go in the opposite direction you want the curve to go. And that way you can follow the contours of different shapes a lot better. When we get to the tracing portion of this chapter, that'll make a little bit more sense. And in the next set of movies, I'm going to show you how to get even more control over using this tool.